Headlines for this week include an all-you-can-eat mac and cheese benefit, a public speaker talks about living with less, and Chartwells looks to donate water to Flint, Michigan. Stay tuned, WMCM's Week in Review is next.
Hello, and thanks for watching WMCM's Week in Review. I'm Amber Meyer.
And I'm Evan Barret. This Saturday, March 5th, the Mississippi Valley Archaeology Center will be at the Valley View Mall in Onalaska displaying unique artifacts from the Coulee region's rich history. Many of the items come from the MVAC's private collection that were recovered in local excavations. Other artifacts will be brought from local collectors. The team of archaeologists will be in the mall to answer individual questions that the public may have, including descriptions of the artifacts that the general public have found. For more information on the event or any other questions, contact the MVAC on campus at 608-785-8454.
Joshua Becker is a writer, public speaker, and a pastor that has learned to live with less. He began his journey to becoming a minimalist 8 years ago when he was cleaning out his family's garage. I was realizing that everything I owned was not making me happy. Not only that, it was taking me away from things that did bring me happiness, says Becker. Since cutting down on material possessions, Becker says he has more time to pursue life passions that are more valuable than the things he owned. He says college students can benefit from this message because they can recognize the freedom they have now before they have mortgages, credit card debt, and an accumulation of possessions. Becker will be speaking on Thursday, March 3rd at 8 p.m. in the Brian and Lori Hesperich Auditorium in Graff Main Hall. This event is sponsored by the UWL It Makes Sense and the La Crosse area crew. This event is free and open to the public.
In conjunction with International Women's Day, UWL is showing a series of films from the South Asian Film Festival. The films explore faith, labor, and gender struggles of contemporary women from India. The series of films begins showing on campus this past Monday, February 29th, and will continue through next Monday, March 7th. The screenings of the films will begin at 6 p.m. in 1309 Centennial Hall, right here on campus. The first film tonight will be Nalini by Day, Nancy by Night, a brief film on the process of outsourcing American jobs to India and the impact it has on women. After the first showing, another film will begin at 7 p.m. in the same location entitled I Am. This film is the story of a lesbian Indian filmmaker who confronts the loss of her mother, from whom she never came out to. After the pair of films are presented, a discussion will be held in Centennial led by Salani Gulati, who is an award-winning independent filmmaker from India, to talk about the films and the hardships of women in Asia. Creative Imperatives made its way onto campus again this past week. Our own Haley Seitz, Henry Lynch, and Alec Bruss went to find out more.
Creative Imperatives was the science of art and the art of science. The four speakers led a discussion covering where art and science meet in the real world and gave examples of how both subjects appear in their own life. We had the opportunity to interview two of the student coordinators after the event.
I'm Christine Stein, and I am a student coordinator for the Creative Imperatives Festival.
And I'm Alex Taylor. I'm also a student coordinator for the Creative Imperatives.
Holly Kirby, the executive director of Fusion Science Theater, as well as a professor of both chemistry and playwriting, was a guest and shared a science trick as well as a unique insight into the topic. Then we asked Alex and Christine to share their opinions on the discussion.
I've always thought of art and science as like being people that different means to an end, or different ends to a mean. I don't know, they brought a lot more to the table of like the differences between them. But highlighted some of the great intersections that they have as well.
Barret Klein, a professor of biology here at UWL, showed specific images of combinations of the subjects, while Joe Elgin, an art professor here, showed his contrasting point of view in order to get a more intense discussion flowing.
The theme for the whole festival is the intersection of art and science, and I think they made good points about how they can be separated, but it's a beautiful thing when they are put together, and you can create a lot of really cool things together. So I thought it went really well.
This has been Haley Seitz, Alec Bruss, and Henry Lynch for WMCM TV.
Here's Stephanie Haugh to talk more about Flint, Michigan water and women moving ahead.
Thanks, Amber. As recently heard in national news, Flint, Michigan is experiencing a water problem in their city. Chartwells is looking to help, but they need the students' help. From now until Sunday, March 6th, students can make a donation to help purchase water for those in need in Flint. Students can use their campus cash or maroon dollars. Students must donate at least $1.79, which is the cost of a water bottle. You may donate more if you wish. For every donation made, Chartwells will match it. The funds raised will go towards purchasing water. You can make your donation at any one of these locations: the convenience store in Whitney Center, the galley in Cartwright Center, or the cellar in Cartwright Center. Christy Erke, marketing manager for Chartwells, released this statement regarding the donations, saying, quote, "Chartwells serves schools in Flint, Michigan, so this is directly affecting some of our students. We want to join Chartwells nationwide to help our students," end quote. And with the theme of making it, registration is now open for the Women Moving Ahead Conference. This year, the event will include 4 sub-themes and the keynote speaker, Barbara Nick. The event will be held on the Western Technical College campus in the Lunda Center on April 2nd. For more information or to register for the conference, you can head to www.womenmovingahead.org, or contact the Continuing Education Office. Now back to you.
Last summer, UW lacrosse junior Ashley DeChant took a solo trip in a 12-foot fishing boat down the Mississippi River. DeChant traveled from St. Paul to New Orleans in 74 days. After spending 5 years stationed with the Air Force in Maryland, DeChant wanted to attend a school closer to her home. Once in lacrosse, DeChant decided to live on the Mississippi. She immediately fell in love with the river. She said, quote, "I thought if this is what the river is like here, I want to see more of it." Despite being called nuts, DeChant began her journey armed with an undergraduate research and creativity grant from UWL. She documented her journey and the lives of people on the river through hundreds of photos, videos, and audio recordings. As part of UWL's Creative Imperatives, DeChant shared her hour-long documentary on Monday, February 29th in Centennial Hall. The Cooley Region Humane Society has many pets in need of loving homes. Here are some of the animals available in this week's edition of Perfect Pets.
Hi, I'm Kendra. I'm 2 years old. I love conversation. I'm shy at first, but I'm also very curious and friendly.
I'm Priscilla. I'm a 2-year-old cat. I'm fun, sweet, playful, and I love attention.
Hi, I'm Watermelon. I'm a 2-year-old lab mix, quiet, lovable, well-mannered, and I love nothing more than a good belly rub.
Hi, I'm Rusty. I'm a 6-year-old Pomeranian. I'm a cute little fur ball, and I love attention so much that I'm very content just sitting in your lap. To find out more about adoption for these pets and others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Interested in free music? Do you still have no plans for the night? If so, make sure to visit the cellar in the basement of the Cartwright Center for a continuation of Campus Activity Board's 1, 2, 3 Thursdays. Tonight, UWL and CAB will be hosting the up-and-coming band Haugh, who will begin performing at 6 p.m. Haugh will be sharing their unique brand of indie pop sounds that has been turning heads across the nation. The band is from Minneapolis and is currently touring the Midwest to promote their sophomore EP entitled Work. This recent release also includes their hit single Forget, that is currently available on iTunes for purchase. So head on down to the cellar later tonight for some energetic vibes and different twists to your Thursday night. For more information on Haugh and other exciting events, check out UWL's Campus Activities Board at www.uwlax.edu/cab. Artifact is a student-run project that took over 3 years to complete and is now on display for everyone to see at the Pump House in downtown La Crosse. Our WMCM crew went to learn a little bit more about the project.
Downtown La Crosse, you can immerse yourself with the history of our beautiful city with the Artifact Project. the La Crosse County Historical Society, the Pump House Regional Arts Center, and the Public and Policy History Department at UWL all collaborated to create Artifact. All of the artwork at the exhibit is inspired by historical artifacts from the La Crosse region. The artifacts are important pieces of La Crosse history, and the artwork tells their stories. The Artifact project will be on display until Sunday, April 17th. Ariel Recker, student ambassador for Artifact, tells us more.
Dr. Ariel Bougeot and I have been working on this project, setting it up, putting it together, writing grants, and then in this last year, we made it also into a class so that way more students could be involved and gain from this experience as well. And so it went from having about 4 or 5 people intimately involved at the beginning to now there's about 35 people who are involved in this project. The coolest thing is actually researching the object itself and finding out all these weird little details, right? So I think the most important thing about this project is that it shows how you can bridge the town and gown divide. Community projects are extremely important, and Artifact is a testament and a shining example to what a good community project can look like. It might be difficult, it might take a lot of maneuvering, but it's also extremely rewarding. We were expecting 200 people at our opening, and we had about 600 people show up. Consistently, people are interested in this project, they want to be involved in it, and it's just all about making the time and space for them.
Go on down to the Pump House and pick up a slice of history. For WMCM, this has been Matt Leitner, Rachel Osman, and Joey Olson.
The Old Crow in downtown La Crosse is hosting an event called March Madness this coming Saturday. Owners Ryan Johnson and Mike Gorder opened the Old Crow in March of 2015 on the corner of 3rd and Main Streets. The restaurant seats 135 people and features over 50 craft beers while boasting a large menu with signature burgers. This is the Old Crow's first year hosting March Madness. It will feature mac and cheese from local restaurants such as the Old Crow, Dublin Square, Fazy's, Burger Fusion, Big Boar, and Beer by Bike Brigade. The event has a Facebook page that is currently boasting 1,500 people that are interested and over 600 people confirmed to be attending this Saturday. If you would like to eat delicious mac and cheese, head downtown to the Old Crow this Saturday, March 5th, for March Madness. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. There is a $5 charge that will be donated to Beer by Bike Brigade to supply bikes and gear to children in the La Crosse community. Each week, the WMCM crew goes out and talks to your fellow peers in a segment we call Campus Insight. This week, they asked students about their foolproof strategies to relieve midterm stress.
For Campus Insight, we're asking students what's their best way to deal with stress during a busy school week.
Hi, I like to take care of my stress on a busy week. Just by going on a run maybe, or going to the rec and working out, kind of letting loose some of the stress I've got, kind of just blow off some steam, I guess. It really helps.
Okay, my best way to deal with stress is going home and talking to my roommates.
I like to lift weights when I'm really stressed out and run on the treadmill.
Alright, I'd say the best way to cope with stress during a busy week would be going to the rec a lot and spending time with friends when you can.
Alright, the best way to deal with stress during a busy week, I believe, is taking a few hour-long breaks and watching TV or Netflix or anything to get your mind off studying.
So those are students' best ways to deal with stress here at UWL. For WMCM, reporting Camille Walter and Alex Vanderhooten.
Look for the WMCM crew around campus for a chance to have your opinions heard on next week's Campus Insight. And now here's Zane Frisky with a movie review of Deadpool.
Thanks, Evan. Deadpool is a must-see Marvel comic book movie that was released this past Valentine's Day. If you've never heard of Deadpool and are interested, I also suggest checking out the comic book series starring the one and only Merc with a Mouth. Originally making his film debut in X-Men Origins Wolverine, Deadpool needed a different twist. Seeing that his comic book character is quite a different one when compared to the rest of the Marvel universe, he is known for breaking the fourth wall and teasing other heroes, as well as making fun of the hero aspect that is so heavily portrayed and idolized in the latest movie releases. Wade Wilson, or Deadpool, finally got the go-ahead to have his very own origin film, and ended up beating Star Wars The Force Awakens in the opening weekend. The movie Deadpool is directed by Tim Miller, with Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool himself, also starring a few other major cast members such as Marina Baccarin, Ed Skrein, and TJ Miller. With a mixture of CGI and actual stunts, this film is an action-packed production, filled with moments only Wade Wilson's character could pull off. After the movie, I can almost guarantee that you will walk out of the theater quoting the catchy lines and laughing all the way home. The movie set is completely on the origin story that Deadpool fans crave, where he meets the girl of his dreams, his arch nemesis, and a few of the X-Men as well. You will find out where he came from and how he got to be known as Deadpool. So if you're looking for a different light from the superhero universe, then look no further, because this anti-hero film has got it all. Let's take a look at the official trailer.
Hey, yeah, I wanna shoot, baby.
Kind of lonesome back here.
A little help here.
Excuse me.
Woo.
Dopinder.
Cool. Dead.
Why the fancy red suit, Mr. Poole?
Oh, that's because it's Christmas Day, Dopinder, and I'm after someone on my naughty list. You're probably thinking this was a superhero movie, but that guy in the suit just turned that other guy into a kebab. Surprise, this is a different kind of superhero story. To tell it right, we gotta take you back before I squeezed into red spandex.
Mr. Wilson, you've recently been diagnosed with terminal cancer.
We can fight this.
What if I told you we can cure you and give you abilities most men only dream of? I'd say that you sound like an infomercial, but not a good one, like Slap Chop, more shake weighty. If I never see you again, know that I love you.
When I'm finished, the mutated cells will heal anything. But you still think we're making you a superhero. We're making you a super slave. Well, come on.
You gonna leave me all alone here with Jose Canseco? Whatever they did to me made my body indestructible. But my face...
Now, look at me.
No, look at it.
No, I don't want to.
Exactly. I didn't ask to be super, and I'm no hero. But when you find out your worst enemy is after your best girl, the time has come to be a superhero.
Cue the music.
X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you.
We can't allow this, Deadpool.
I don't have time for your X-Men bull, Colossus. Besides, nobody's getting hurt. That guy was up there before we got here.
Knock, knock, open
I played a lot of roles. Damsel in distress ain't one of them.
We gonna rock, we gonna roll. We let it rock, we don't let it go.
Have you seen this man? Wait, did I leave the stove on?
X gon' give it to you.
Yeah, you're way too much dude for me. That's why I brought him. I mean, that's why I brought her? Oh, no, finish your tweet. Go get her, Tiger.
Oh, I so pity the dude who pressures her into prom sex. X gon' give it to you.
I would definitely refer any of my friends to see this film, although it is an R-rated film, so I wouldn't recommend all of my family members. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie and thought it was an interesting new take on superheroes and the satire that resulted from it. Overall, I'm happy that the movie was up to par with the hype and marketing build-up. Since the sequel has already received the green light, we can all look forward to another installment in the Deadpool franchise. Stay tuned for WMCM's Mark Wilson will be back with us this weekend's weather.
Do you need better opinions on the biggest sports stories? Then you need Sports Talk Live. They cover all sports all the time. From track and field, to soccer, to football, gymnastics, and just about everything in between. Sports Talk Live is your place for sports. Sports Talk Live, Tuesdays on WMCM TV.
You are watching WMCM Student TV, broadcasting from the Wing Technology Center at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, featuring sports, news, game shows, movie reviews, interview shows, and what the students are thinking about. Campus Channel 6, Charter 989. Your campus, your station, WMCM TV.
Right now. And my name is Mark Wilson, and today's weather. Today will be partly cloudy with a low of 20 degrees. So wear your jacket, your raincoat, whatever you need to do. Tomorrow will be 37 degrees, a little warmer. If you can get out, go on a hike, it'll be a great day to do so. The weekend looks like it's going to be a little bit better with a partly cloudy, up to 40 degrees, low 30 or high at 39. A lot of sun. You can get out with the family, get out there and enjoy the weather. Sunday it will be mostly cloudy with a high of 49 degrees. It's going to be a good time to get out there, enjoy the weather.
go out there, make a picnic, have some fun. And here's Drew Penkala with this week's interview.
Hi, I'm Drew, and I'm here with Jenna Morgan today, one of the leads in UWL's musical, Singing in the Rain. Thank you, Jenna, for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, can you give me a brief synopsis of what Singing in the Rain is?
Yeah. Well, basically, Singing in the Rain is about two silent movie stars, Don Lockwood and Lena Lamont, who are at the peak of their career when talking films are invented. And so they have to go through all of the process of changing from silent movies to talking films. And it's interesting because the character of Lena Lamont can't talk at all. She has a very annoying voice, and so they have to find another girl, Kathy Selden, to dub over all of her lines for her. And so that's the main conflict of the show.
Awesome. And what character do you play in Singing in the Rain?
I play Lena Lamont, the one with the horrible voice. So.
Okay. So what was it like preparing for the show and getting into that character?
Well, it wasn't easy. The hard part was figuring out like how annoying I wanted to make her voice. It took about 3 weeks to figure it out, and I worked closely with our director, Mary Leonard, and our voice director, Kat Merkin. And I think we figured it out. It was not easy, though. But that was the main challenge for me.
So when did rehearsals start for the show?
They began the last week in January. And that was mostly just dancing and working with the choreographer, Ted Levy, who is a Broadway choreographer, which was really cool. And my experience was a little bit different than everyone else's because my character doesn't really dance. So for the first 2 weeks or so, they didn't really need me. So I just worked on characterization, but everyone else was working with Ted very closely.
Did you get to work with Ted at all during the show?
Yeah, I'm in the finale, the last song, so that was cool. He's a tough guy to work with, but like he's very, very cool. So good experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was the hardest part of doing this show, would you say?
Well, like I said, my experience is very different than everyone else. For me, it was just like getting the voice down and figuring out how I wanted to play this iconic character. And I think for everyone else, I think they could agree that the choreography is the hardest part because there's tapping through the entire show, which is something that I don't think we've done here before. So that was really different. And, yeah.
So the show is called Singing in the Rain. Is there actual rain in the show? Is there an effect or something?
There is, yeah. There's like a separate stage that we bring on that has a rain fixture above it and real rain falls or water. And then there's also projections that go on behind it too. So it looks like real rain. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. What has been your favorite part of the process of creating the show and doing that kind of stuff?
Well, for me, this role is crazy. I mean, like, it's just an iconic role, and she got an Oscar for it. And I mean, so being able to do that was really challenging, but something that I'm never going to forget. So.
Awesome. And so Singing in the Rain has actually been sold out since Monday, and shows in the past at UWL have sold out plenty of times before, but not as fast. So why do you think Singing in the Rain is doing so well?
Well, I think it's just a musical that almost everyone has heard of, and it's very family friendly. I think that kids, grandparents, anybody would love to see it, you know, so it appeals to every single person, I think. And it's really funny. Everybody loves it from what I've heard, so.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being with me here today. And stay tuned. Michael Korneli will be right back with this week's sports. But first, let's take a look at the adorable animals in need of loving homes on this week's edition of Perfect Pets.
Hi, I'm Kendra. I'm 2 years old. I love conversation. I'm shy at first, but I'm also very curious and friendly.
I'm Priscilla. I'm a 2-year-old cat. I'm fun, sweet, playful, and I love attention.
Hi, I'm Watermelon. I'm a 2-year-old lab mix, quiet, lovable, well-mannered, and I love nothing more than a good belly rub.
Hi, I'm Rusty. I'm a 6-year-old Pomeranian. I'm a cute little fur ball, and I love attention so much that I'm very content just sitting in your lap. To find out more about adoption for these pets and others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
The phone number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. This last week in sports at UWL featured a championship, a final, and an opener for the Eagles. Starting with the UWL men's track and field team last weekend, the dominant UWL men's track and field team took home their 15th straight WIAC Indoor Championship. The title was the Eagles' 41st indoor title, which is the most in league history. UWL crushed the competition with a total of 166.5 points, with the closest competitor only generating 98 points. The UWL relay team set a WIAC record in the 4x100 meter relay with a time of 3 minutes and 17 seconds, which beat the 1996 record of 3 minutes 18 seconds, which is set by UW Stout. The record holders consisted of students Zach Waldenfang, Dominic Boccini, Joe Smith, and Doss Denman. UWL dominated in other events such as the 800 meter, where 3 of the 4 finishers were Eagles. In the high jump, Brendan Dees finished second, and UWL grabbed 2 of the top 4 finishes in the weight throw. Overall, the Eagles dominated their competition in a fashion that is very reminiscent of other dominating sports programs such as Alabama in football or Boston College in hockey. Moving on from track and field, we have the men's basketball team facing off against River Falls this weekend. Andrew Klon has the story.
WIAC semifinal between UWL and River Falls was the 3rd meeting between the teams this season, and UWL players were hyped. Ben Meinholz got the Eagles started early with a bucket, but a 25-4 run by River Falls saw UWL trailing 31-25 heading into the break. In the second half, junior Devin Yerk got the hot hand, including this shot from distance, despite Yerk's 20 points, including 16 in the second half, and a great effort from the team. The Eagles' comeback fell short. River Falls won the game 72-61. Recently awarded WIAC Coach of the Year Ken Cable regrets mistakes they made.
Thank you, Andrew. Here at WMSM, we would all like to join everyone in congratulating Coach Cable on receiving the WIAC Coach of the Year award. Finally, the women's UBL softball season opened last weekend with a pair of wins for the Eagles to start out on. The team opened the season with a 10-4 victory over College of St. Scholastica. The Eagles started with 3 early runs and never lost control of the game as they outmatched St. Scholastica, continued to fall behind due to inferior play and errors. The softball team continued right where it left off in their next game against Martin Luther. The team scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning on the backs of players Faber, Wiltius, Lidstrom, Nelson, and Baldwin, who each scored an RBI. After the first inning, the game couldn't be over soon enough for Martin Luther as they succumbed to the mercy rule in the 5th inning with a final score of 14-1. UWL softball returns to action Sunday the 13th with a doubleheader against Denison University to open its trip to beautiful Tucson, Arizona. I'm Michael Korneli, and this has been your weekly fix of campus sports. Well, thanks for the sports, Michael. No problem. It's pretty interesting stuff how we're doing so well for all these spring sports already.
Yeah,
it's nice that we've captured a championship and then opened up strong in softball.
That's pretty typical championships for track and field
Yeah,
anymore.
around here anyway.
Well, how are you guys doing for the weekend?
I work.
No, that's too bad.
I know my roommates and I are trying to make it down to the old Curl for March Madness. One of my roommates is a server there, so
I'm sure she'll be plenty busy then.
Oh, she's going to be insanely busy.
All right. Well, thank you for watching WMCM's Week in Review. Make sure to join us next week, Thursday at 4:30, right here on Campus Channel 6 and Charter Channel 96 and Digital Channel 989.